In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, Param Karunamay, Otishaya Devan, Allahur Name Shuru Korilam, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear HEC second year students, today I am going to teach you a famous poem named Out Out, and it was written by Robert Frost, and he was an American poet, and he was born in 1874 and he died in 1963. And this poem is in your Unit 8, and Unit 8 is based on human rights, and it is in lesson number 5. Now, here in this poem, the poet actually narrated the tragic end of a miner boy. He was working in a sawmill, but unfortunately, he did not have adequate protection. Then a terrible accident took place in his life. Then the saw cut the hand of the minor boy. Then he started to bleed profusely. Then he died helplessly in front of a lot of people. Then the tragic end of the minor boy has been narrated in the poem. Now we are going to discuss the poem line by line. Now let us carry on reading, and those who have book, please carry on listening, and I am going to narrate the poem line by line. That is, I will give you the line by line explanation. The first line is, the bass saw snarled and rattled in the poem. Here the poet is telling about the harsh sound of the sawmill. Sawmill is a busy place, so there are a lot of sounds, and the sounds are very much harsh and terrible, and it has been narrated by the first line. And made dust drop stoop-length sticks of wood. The line is actually telling that for the movement in the sawmill, dust particles were there. Sawmill is always a very much busy place. Timbers are kept in front of the saw, then people are moving, then stoop-length sticks are falling down. That is why it's a busy place, and dust particles are also there. Sweet scented stuff when the breeze draw across it. This line means that at the wind blow, sweet scent spread over the area. Moreover, sawmill is actually the owner of the sawmill is very much rich people. Usually the owners are very much rich. So here in this poem we can guess that the owner of the sawmill is really a rich man. He was putting on very much costly cloth. He was using costly perfume. So smell was there, and the smell was of course sweet smell. And moreover, the timbers were being turned into plank and stoop length, and that is why from the trees also sweet smell was coming. And from there, those that lifted eyes could count. If anyone lifted eyes could count something. Now let us see what someone could count. 5 mountain ranges, one behind the other. That is, the space is a very beautiful place. Now here anybody can see 5 mountain ranges one after another. That is, the place is a very much beautiful place, and the sawmill is situated in a very much beautiful place under the sunset far into Vermont. Here the name of the place is Vermont, and it is in America. Now there are the glows of the setting sun in the area Vermont. That is, the poem is written just at the ending of the day, so the sun was going to set. That is why in the western sky there were the afterglow of the setting sun in the sky. So the area was very much beautiful, and the saw snarled and rattled, snarled and rattled. Here the poet has used the phrase snarled and rattled 2 times. Now at the beginning of the poem also he mentioned this phrase. Now again it has been mentioned. Actually the poet is trying to tell the business of the sawmill. The saw was actually creating harsh and continuous sound. Now as it rained light or had to bear a load, this line tells that when timbers are finished, then new timbers are to be given in front of the saw. That is, in front of the saw, big timber is supposed to be kept. Then when sawmill does its action on the timber, then another timber is to be kept. Now this work is actually going on continuously. That is why the sound is there. The mill is creating sound. The timbers, wooden planks, and stove length sticks, and movement of everything were actually creating sound. So sawmill was actually a noisy area, and nothing happened. Day was all but done. Nothing significant happened. The day was passed. That is, the sawmill was going on through usual action. Nothing significant, nothing bad or good happened. That is, the day was almost past. Now, call it a day. I wish they might have said they could have released the boy, but they didn't. That is, this line is actually telling that the sawmill owner could give release to the boy half an hour earlier, but the owner was not at all in a mood to serve the boy. Moreover, there are a lot of able-bodied young men in the sawmill, those who are working, but they also did not do anything good for the minor boy. Just he was working, working, and working, and no rest was there. To please the boy by giving him the half hour, they could have given the boy release half an hour earlier. That is, the boy was a minor boy. If somebody could be sympathized with him, then he could give him release a bit earlier. Then his mind, soul, and heart would get comfort. But there was nobody in the earth to give the boy any opportunity like that. So he was working helplessly and restlessly. That boy counts so much and saved from work. This line tells that there was a great expectation to the boy. He was desiring relief from the work. That is, while he was working hard, he was actually desiring rest, but no way, he was not getting any rest. His sister stood beside him in her apron. This tells that his sister came putting on her apron. The apron, the word apron is used for the sister is because the sister did not have a lot of dresses, so she was in the habit of putting on one simple dress. So whenever she goes out or whenever she went out, she had to put on the dress, so the dress became like apron. So just at the ending of the day, his sister came and she came to tell the boy something. Now let us see what did she tell. To tell them supper at the word the saw. Now this line tells that she came to tell them the time of supper. Then the saw did a terrible thing. That is, the boy did not have any relative other than this sister. He did not have his parents. He did not have any brother, either elder or younger. Only he had the sister. So at the ending of the day, she came to announce the time of supper, as if to prove Saws know what supper meant. The Saw did something as if to prove that it know the meaning of supper. That is, as soon as the girl pronounced the word supper, then the Saw did something terrible. That is, the Saw was actually trying to express that the meaning of supper was known to the Saw. Of course, the Saw did something terrible. Now let us see what happened to the boy. Leaped out at the boy's hand or seemed to leap. And the line means that the Saw leaped at the hand of the boy. Now, when the sister of the boy announced the time of supper, then the boy actually became happy and he became excited. So out of his excitement, he became indifferent a bit. Then his hand actually went close to the saw, and the saw actually did a big bet with the boy. That is, the cruelty was done to the boy. That is, the saw cut the hand of the boy. Now it is really a terrible thing for the boy. He must have given the hand. However, it was. Hand is very much important to every person, and exactly like other people, the hand was very much important to the boy as well. But the saw took the hand of the boy. The boy was bound to give his hand. Whenever the boy became a bit indifferent, his hand went close to the saw, then the saw cut the hand of the boy. No matter whether the hand was very much important to the boy, but the saw did not show any mercy, so simply cut the hand of the boy. neither refused the meeting but the hand. The saw and hand meet the helpless hand. That is, the hand when close to the saw simply detached or cut the hand of the boy. It did not show any mercy. The boy's first outcry was a wrathful laugh. Now, when his hand was actually detached, when the hand was cut, he was deadly wounded. He started to bleed profusely, so he cried loudly. And here in this line, the poet is actually trying to tell that the bitter cry, the loud cry of the boy was like a wrathful laugh to the society. That is, the boy was actually trying to tell that you, the society people, did not do anything to help me. That is, you did not do any humanitarian job with me. Now, I became helpless. Despite being a young boy, minor boy, I had to work. Now my hand is cut. But you people are living in happiness, that you are leading luxurious life. But despite being a minor boy, I am to work, and at the time of working, my hand is detached. That is why the poet has used the phrase here. His first outcry was like a wrathful laugh. Now, as he swung toward them, holding up the hand, this line tells that he approached toward the authority holding his bleeding hand. That is, when his sister came, his hand was cut. As long as she pronounced the word supper, then in the world the boy did not have anybody else other than his sister. Moreover, there were a lot of able-bodied young men, able-bodied workers in the sawmill. Moreover, the authority of the sawmill was also there. So, when he got or when he received the severe injury in his hand, then holding the hand, he actually started to rush towards them. That is, he was actually trying to tell them to save his life, half in appeal but half as if to keep. This line means that in his attitude there were two appeals. One was to save his life and the other was to protect his hand. That is, when his hand was detached, when his hand was cut, he was bleeding profusely, he was getting intolerable pain, so he was actually going towards the people, and there were two appeals in his eyes. That is, one appeal was there that he was actually desiring to live in the world, and another appeal was that he was actually requesting all the people to save his life. The life from spilling, then the boy saw all. This line means that the boy understood everything because he was a matured boy, because he was doing the work of the matured people, so he was matured enough to understand his actual situation. He was thinking that his life was going to be ended. As long as his hand was detached, hand was cut, it was bleeding profusely, he was getting into a lot of pain, so he was in a position to understand that his life was going to be ended. Since he was old enough to know, big boy. Now, this line tells that despite being a boy, he was working like a man. I repeat, despite being a minor boy, he was working like a matured man. So he was in a position to understand everything. Doing a man's work, though a child at heart, he was really a child. So, though he was working like a man, his heart was like a child. Now, this line actually tells that he was a child in his heart, but working like a matured person. He saw all spoiled. Don't let him cut my hand. He saw, this line tells that he saw all was ended. He requested his sister not to allow the doctor to cut his hand. That is, when his hand was detached, he was getting pain. Then he was actually heading towards his sister, and the time of approaching to her, he requested her not to allow the doctor to cut his hand because his hands are very much dear to him. So he was desiring that his hand would be remaining with him. The doctor, when he comes, don't let him, sister. That is, in this line, the boy has requested his sister not to allow the doctor to cut his hand. So, but the hand was gone already. But unfortunately, the boy could not understand that his hand was detached because he was in a state of intolerable pain. So he was not able to understand that his hand was actually detached from his body. So he was requesting his sister to um, protect his hand. Now the doctor put him in the dark of ether. The meaning of the line is the doctor put him injection, or that is, the doctor injected him to send him in a state of unconsciousness because he was getting intolerable pain. Then he was actually in a state of unconsciousness. He lay and puffed his lips out with his breath. Now, this line tells that he was lying down unconscious, he was breathing through lips. That is, as long as he was bleeding profusely, he was becoming less powerful, so he was not in a position to stand erect. He was lying down unconscious. Then he was not able to breathe through his nose, and he was breathing through his lips. That is, he was in a miserable condition. And then the watcher at his pulse took fright. People became worried by seeing his pulse. That is, doctor came, he examined his pulse, and all other people were also watching him from the closest contact, because when he was wounded, all the people came towards him and they saw him from the closest contact, and they were actually desiring that maybe the boy would be saved from the danger. But unfortunately, as long as he was bleeding profusely, he was not in a position to get back his life. Now, no one believed. They listened at his heart. People could not believe that the boy was going to die, because just a couple of minutes ago he was working, he was pleasant boy. But unfortunately, due to the accident, he was going to die. So people are not believing the condition. Now, little less nothing, and that ended it. Here the poet has used three words. First one is little, second one is less, and final one is nothing. That is, in three steps, the boy actually left the world. That is, he breathed his last. It is a terrible and pathetic thing. Then in front of the people, he died. Though he was a minor boy, he was not able to survive in the world, nor to build on their, and they since they. This line tells that those who came to see the boy, they decided to leave the place because they were now the boy. Were not the one dead turned to their affairs, and it's a terrible thing that though they came to see the minor boy, the helpless boy, while they saw that the boy died, they started to pay their own attention. They did not stand there. That is, they became very busy again with their own affairs. Now, line by line discussion of the poem has been ended. Now, before ending the class, I would like to tell you that this is a famous poem, and it is written by Robert Frost. And here, by this poem, the poet is actually trying to tell that the human right is not actually maintained properly in the world, and it is to be maintained, or else a lot of accidents would take place, a lot of lives would leave us. Now, just before going to say goodbye, I would like to remind you once again about the tragic end of the boy. That is, there was a minor boy, he did not have parents, he became helpless, so to collect his food, he had to work, but he did not get any easy work. Moreover, he had a sister, then these two helpless persons were really very much helpless, so the boy was working and his sister was cooking food for him. This is how their lives were going on peacefully. But unfortunately, one day, at the end of the day, his sister came and she announced the time of the supper. Then, by hearing the word supper, the boy became excited. So he became careless also a bit. Then his hand went close to the saw, but the saw did not show any mercy to the tender boy, to the minor boy. Just the saw detached the hand of the boy. Then the boy cried loudly. Then the doctor came, he injected him, and he was sent in a state of unconsciousness. And step by step, he died in front of a lot of people. Those who came to see him, they saw that the boy died step by step, and they were not in a position to believe that this pleasant boy actually left the world. The boy died. Then when they found that the boy died, they left the area because they were none of the boy. Only one person was actually standing there, and she was his sister. That is, she was the only one person in the world to mourn for his death. And this is all for today. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining the class. Assalamu alaikum.